What's up, everyone? It's Rachel Lindsay, and if you love all things Bravo, then you need to be listening to Morally Corrupt. Every Tuesday and Friday, your favorite Ringer podcasters and I dive into Bravo's biggest moments and dish out hot and always unfiltered takes. And guess what? Now you can watch us too. That's right, Morally Corrupt is now available in video on Spotify. So whether you're listening in your family van or watching next to your white refrigerator, don't be all uncool and miss out. Catch new episodes every Tuesday and Friday only on the Ringer Reality TV feed.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Death, Taxes, and Bananas podcast, where we will be once again breaking down another episode of this season of the Challenge 41, Vets versus Threats. I want to just remind everyone once again, this is the brand new Johnny Bananas Death, Taxes, and Bananas feed on YouTube. So if you already subscribed to the other one, I'm sorry, you're going to have to hit unsubscribe and resubscribe to this one so you don't ever miss an episode. I don't know if you can tell, but you like what we've done with the place. We've done a little bit of remodeling. Got the golden bananas here. I would like to say I decorated this place myself, but that is not the case. I actually have a set designer over here. Thank you, Belle, for all your hard work. You can find the new channel on YouTube at youtube.com at Death, Taxes, and Bananas. You can also find us on Spotify, Death, Taxes, and Bananas with Johnny Bananas. And you, while you're at it, go ahead and follow us on IG at Death, Taxes, and Bananas. Send us your comments and whatever DMs you have. Or you could send my next guest your DMs because I'm sure he would love them. All right, well, let's get into it. Today, on this episode, I sit down with the man who has had more ups and downs in his challenge career than Ashley Mitchell has ups and downs in her mood swings. He is a former champ, a certified heartthrob. He's got great quads, and a guy who once had me thinking that we could actually be friends until he decided to team up with all of his limey scumbag Brit friends and throw me right under one of those big red double-decker buses that they have in London. That's right, folks. My man, Rogan O'Connor, is back in the hot seat. He's here to talk about love, loss, alliances gone rogue. See what I did there?
I love that.
And how it all went horribly wrong on Vets versus New Threats, including whether or not he brought more baggage on this season than all of the rookies combined. So, we're going to find out what happened, what went sideways, and if he's finally learned to stop targeting the GOAT. Mr. Rogan O'Connor, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it.
What are you sipping on there?
It's a little whiskey.
Okay.
It's 5 o'clock in the UK.
It is.
Just fuck the time here. It's
I'll
5
tell you
o'clock
what,
in the
because
UK.
there's a 6-hour difference, and it's about 11:30, so you're right on cue.
Yeah, I should have started drinking half an hour ago. This is actually pretty late for me.
You should have. I'll tell you what, the more you drink, the better I'm going to look, so we don't want you drinking too much.
That's right.
This is a couch, but it's not the casting couch.
Wow,
now,
okay.
listen, before we get into it, let's just rip the Band-Aid off here right out of the gate. I know we had a discussion about you not wanting to cover it, but we are on the Death, Taxes, and Bananas podcast where I'm not sanctioned by MTV, so I can talk about whatever the hell I want. When you came on this season, Rogan, were you carrying a duffel bag or were you carrying emotional baggage in the form of a girlfriend? Let's just break it all down and let us know.
So the thing you literally said we weren't going to talk about, you open with. That's nice. Real nice. Death, taxes, and bananas. The 3 things I'm sick of thinking about.
Should I have asked at the end?
Well, you said you're going to be targeting the GOAT. Jordan isn't even on this season for a start, so.
Ouch.
And yeah, we said we weren't going to talk about it, but fuck it. I was single coming into the season. Single just like Johnny will be for the rest of his life.
Okay, so single meaning you did not have a girlfriend. So you were saying everyone on Reddit is wrong.
Yeah, no one on Reddit knows me, surprisingly enough. Yeah, or knows about my relationship. So
Okay, so when you came in and you told Izzy you were single, that was the God's honest truth.
that was the God's honest truth, Jonathan.
Okay. You sure?
Fuck you.
You sure?
Yeah, but if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Someone taught me once.
You know what? I think we should get that tattooed together. Okay, we got that out of the way. Okay, now we could all breathe a sigh of relief. I wasn't sure if this is going to be the second episode in a row where my guest got up and walked out.
If I didn't have this, I would.
Okay.
So,
well, all right, listen.
I'm going to need this. I know I am.
You're back on our screens after a little bit of a break. Last time we saw you was in the Austrian Alps, right?
Yeah, man.
After total madness, after your brutal elimination with Nelson, and
I thought you were going to say brutal elimination with you, where we ran through the snow together, where we both jogged through the snow together and slapped a Belle.
That was hands down, the most ridiculous elimination I think either one of us had ever done.
It was also called knocked out, and they said you're not allowed to touch Johnny.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. The storms were too bad. They couldn't get an ambulance there quick enough, apparently, so I had to leave you alone.
I mean, they would have just had to roll me down a mountain, dude. They would have put me on one of those toboggans and wheel me down.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been good for either of us. So
That
it was a fun elimination, although not fun for me, really.
It was the most ridiculous thing, though, because I remember it was like, all right, it like at first it looked like pretty badass. Line up on the other side. There's a Belle, first one to touch it, and I'll never forget. Like TJ blows the horn, go. We start sprinting, and because the snow was so deep, when you go to jump, you wouldn't even jump. You just sink.
It was so funny. It was actually hilarious to watch back. I remember when it was like they wanted to cut and watch it back to see if you hit the Belle, and I was just so busy. I was laughing and rolling around in the snow going, he did. Like I
think I actually stepped on your leg because we were both rolling around in the snow and it was hard to get up. I think I actually stepped on you to try and jump up to get the Belle.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking after the season that like, I mean, you obviously we all went through it. That was, let's be real, that was one of the just mentally most draining seasons I've ever done. But to go out like that, I was literally thinking, like, if this is how my fucking season ends.
Nearly breaking my neck against Nelson the night before.
Bro.
And then going out like that was it was like, you can't not laugh.
I mean, I will say this, every time someone talks about Hall Brawl, or every time someone because that's the thing, is fans don't understand just how absolutely dangerous. I don't think there's ever been a Hall Brawl where someone hasn't walked away with some sort of injury that is going to either take a long time or never recover from.
Yeah.
I mean, Kyle broke his finger and fucked up
that
his
was
knee.
nasty.
Yeah. Paul, you had a double concussion. You and Nelson, and I'll never forget, because they even said when you don't put your heads down.
Yeah.
And both you kind of put your heads down.
I thought if he's not putting his down, and I'm putting mine down, it's going to hurt him.
Because that's the other thing, is they were like, oh, well, we want to see your faces, so we need to leave you with these open face masks. But then we're also going to put a GoPro on your forehead. Yeah. So if you run into each other face first, it's like you're going GoPro into the face. But when you guys hit that first time,
it was like two goats. You know when two goats headbutt each other? That's what it was like. That's what it felt like anyway.
And if those two helmets barely were just off center a little bit, I mean, I could have been mad. You guys, that wasn't some gnarly shit, dude.
Yeah.
I remember on the bus driving to the Alps, it was like a 6-hour drive. I remember I've never been so happy to leave a place in my entire life.
Yeah.
It was. I'd imagine us leaving the bunker after being there, that nightmare for so long. I'd imagine the happiness that we felt was kind of similar to probably the happiness Wes's parents felt after they left him on the doorstep of a monastery as a baby as they were driving away.
I thought you were going to say going home from war. Of course you made it. Yeah, no, I agree, 100%.
Just watching that little ginger disappear in the mirror. That's probably what it would have been like.
A big relief.
Do you remember when they juked us out? We thought they were taking us to the final.
They just dropped us in a field. They just literally dropped us in the field and then just got back on the bus laughing.
Laughing with their iPhones.
Yeah, to them, that must have been hilarious. But I had just finished a fucking Hall Brawl. I was on my neck. I couldn't move.
Yeah.
They're like, we're just going to leave you in the field for an hour and laugh at you.
Yeah, production tells us, they're like, all right, guys, we're leaving for your final now. And it was weird because it's usually much more built up. There was one camera guy.
Yeah.
And
it was weird.
One of the producers, Sky, who's never been a field producer, she was the one that was telling us we had to go. We're like, all right, this is strange, but whatever. And we get on the bus, and there's really no cameras on the bus. So it's 4 people from production, all of us. They're like, don't even pack. Just put something on.
Yeah, we should have figured it out at that point, to be honest.
Yeah, and we get in our bus and we start driving down this dark road, and they were like, okay, get out here. And we're like, what? We get off, they're like, just run. And we're in this dark dirt field, and we're just running into the darkness, and we turn around and like we see like a camera up, and then like 4 producers with their iPhones with the lights on.
Just remember Sky's like cackle.
Yeah.
She felt it was the funniest thing she'd ever seen.
And then it was like, now we're just fucking you, get back on the bus. We're like, guys, we can't, we've had too many emotional ups and downs this season already. Can't deal with this.
Yeah.
No more jokes. But yeah, that was a hell of a season, dude. And
I don't think as well, it's not that I've thought about it every morning in the shower since, but how close I was to winning. Because if I just somehow beaten you in our little jog through the snow, the next day it was basically a math and a run. I know none of them, the rest of them in the front apart from you, so if I'd taken you out, I was winning that math thing all day. People think I'm just some big dumb brute, but math is probably my strongest point.
Really?
100%. So
you did win, because wait, didn't you win the first?
I won the first daily, yeah, which is like a mini final thing, which was math, puzzle,
Yep.
and then strength. So I know that I would have taken that down. But obviously, like, if my grandma had wheels, she'd be a bicycle.
Well,
I didn't beat you, so it's irrelevant. But
I didn't clip my fingernails the night before. I think that's the only reason I was able to touch that bell.
Yeah, I think
My
so.
nails were
Because we're probably the same height, right?
Yeah,
just about. So yeah.
I didn't get a mani pedi, so my nails were a little bit long.
Ding.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a wild one, dude.
Sure.
And it actually, they cut it down. It was supposed to be, the second day was actually shorter than it should have been, because there was a blizzard the night of, that Kyle and Fessy had to sit outside in the entire night. Like that whole thing was just,
that was horrible.
Was amazing.
I know, like, obviously it was horrible to go out, but I got to go into this nice warm bed, and they gave me a beer, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
That was
Lucky
nice.
you, dude.
Lucky me, yeah.
Lucky
but then you
you.
got to sleep inside anyway because you beat me.
I did.
And I was like, when I found out that, I was like, fuck.
Yep. Yeah. We were the only ones who got to sleep inside. Me, Jenny, and
Corey.
And Corey and Casey.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Well, enough reminiscing. Let's talk about now.
For sure.
You're back on our screens after a bit of a hiatus. What made you want to return for Vets versus Threads?
I've been waiting by the phone, man. You keep dropping your pen. Are you okay? I've been waiting by the phone. I've been an alternate 3 or 4 times. I've been. They told me the Battle of the Champions or whatever. I was on that until the day before. The one that I think Jordan and Kaz won, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was on that until the day before, and they didn't even tell me I wasn't going. I was like, packed my suitcases and everything, and then I just didn't.
That was globals, the global champs,
the global champs. So
I gave everyone COVID.
Oh, did you? Oh, nice.
Whole house.
Well, at least I missed that.
Nathan went home. Nathan from Jordan Shore.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, because me and him were talking on the phone 2 days before you flew out, because he wasn't even a champ, right? Or,
no.
And then they chose him maybe instead of me last minute. Or they told me an Australian replaced me or something. I found out afterwards.
No, it would have been one of the Brits. It had to be one of the Brits, because it was global. So it was, it was obviously U.S. and then there was
No,
Argentina.
but I would have been U.S. I think. I don't know. I don't know the premise of it, but yeah. So that was annoying. But anyway, I'm back now.
Yeah.
And it may have been short and sweet, but yeah, I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
I feel like, Rogan, you're like, you want challenges the way that I am with like texting people back. All right. When I text someone back, it's either going to be in 30 seconds or 30 days. You're like that on challenges. You're either going to be there you're either going to leave very first, or you're going to make it to the very end.
It would appear
There's no in between.
It would appear so. Yeah. So far, so good at that.
Do you know, I looked the other day, there's only been 7 people in challenge history that have gone home first twice.
I saw that on, I think someone tweeted that to me earlier. So I saw that earlier.
So at least you're in good company in that regard.
Is it one of you?
Oh, no. Well, I guess you count traders.
Okay. But
no, I'm the first one to ever do that. First home on the challenge and first home on traders.
Okay,
no one's ever accomplished
Maybe I'll
that
do that
before.
as well. Maybe I'll try and join you there. Maybe one day. But yeah. So it's not by choice, Johnny. I assure you. It's just how it goes sometimes. Obviously, no excuses for what was 31? Oh, Vendettas. Yes.
So Vendettas gone first, and I still feel bad about that. I'm sorry.
I mean, you can take credit for that, but I'm going to blame myself. To be honest with you, I had never watched a challenge before.
Yep.
And I was like 110 kilo,
I know.
300 and something pounds.
Buddy,
I hadn't run for about 10 years.
No, buddy, you were, that's what I'm saying. When we showed up at the airport and we saw you guys, I was actually talking to Kyle about this the other day when we were there, because his parents were asking about, the challenge and, you know.
Oh, at the wedding?
At the wedding.
Congrats, Kyle.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, rolling up and seeing you, Joss, and Kyle. It was like the Backstreet Boys. You guys literally look like a British Backstreet Boys band. And I remember I'm like, this motherfucker is literally tearing out of his pants. We had to sprint up Gibraltar. Kyle did it with a syringe up his ass, which is still to this day
so wild.
Wild. But yeah, day 2 after we spent all night sitting in a bunker, I was and I will say it, I was gassed. I was totally shot. I hadn't slept the night before. Making up that mountain was absolutely brutal. And I remember I was like one of the last ones out because I was one of the last ones there. And in my head, TJ already told us, whoever is in last place goes home.
Yeah.
Purge, day 1. And I'm literally sitting there, I'm like, no one's fucking behind me. I'm like I'm going to go home fucking day 1.
Yeah.
And I come around this corner and I see Rogan kind of sitting there on the ground because his back was bothering him, his lower back. God, and he goes to stand up. And I'm like, chill, bro. I was like, there's still 3 people.
You love this. This is you're more proud of that bit than winning any challenge. You're like, you bring it up every time.
It was one of my proudest moments.
It was good. It was good. I literally, to be fair, I'd already been put in the back of an ambulance, so they told me, or maybe that was straight after, but they told me as soon as I gone in that, I was like, I'm good to carry on now. They were like, no, you've had medical assistance. You're done. I was like, I'm going home?
Yep.
It was upsetting, man.
I didn't know him at the time. I just remember he was like this big fucking buff goon, and I'm like, oh shit.
Buff goon? What, yeah. Thanks, mate.
I'm at the top of the thing, and then I see him walking up, and I'm like, once he finds out that I just, fucking okey-doed him, I hope he doesn't come over here and try and beat me up.
Yeah, it was a nice...
but you took it well.
Zach and Tony were saying, they were talking... how are we going to get rid of this guy? This guy's going to be unstoppable. Thank God he died on a mountain, because the next one was like a ball wrestle or something like that, or like loads of crazy physical stuff. If only, but then again, I keep saying if only, but like it is what it is. You gotta. These things happen. Like, sometimes you don't get the rub of the green. Sometimes things are favored to you. Things aren't.
Sometimes you just turn into a raspberry ripple once you get to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
All right, so let's rewind a little bit here. World of Worlds 2, you took home the W. Obviously on the challenge, that's got to be probably your highlight on the challenge career. That and Showmance with D.
Which one? Which D?
I mean, which? Oh, what?
I'm joking, Johnny. Don't cry.
I was about to.
Like Will. No, I don't. But yeah, the Showdowns with D. Yeah, that was some serious politicking. I was proud of myself for that one. That was tough work.
That was good. World of Worlds 2. I mean, that's when a lot of fans still talk about World of the Worlds 2, 1 and 2.
One of the best.
Being some of the best seasons. And they were, because, I mean, you guys, the Brits bring a whole different energy to the show.
Crazy energy.
Bro, that was like Bear, Ashley Kane, you, Zahida, Georgia, Theo, Kaylee. I mean... That was
a lot of personality to deal with.
A lot of personality. I mean, that was a wild ass season.
Yeah, for sure.
Idris, probably the biggest standout Brit from that season.
He's still commenting on every single picture, trying to get back on the show. Bless him. But yeah.
And then 41, obviously coming in. Do you think, what do you attribute? Vendettas was a whole different ball game, but this season, first boot again, is that just bad luck, or was it, had you take too much time off? Did you get maybe a little doughy eyed because Izzy was running around in her
matching
set?
It was nothing to do with Izzy, and it was nothing to do with being rusty or time off. I came in fittest, strongest. I came in pumped and ready, and I had so many friends. There was no one, I don't think, voting me in. If I hadn't,
Well, I wasn't your friend.
Where do you get this from? You're so paranoid. You're getting very paranoid in your old age. I have nothing against you, Johnny. Never have. And apparently I was in a British Alliance. I didn't even fucking know about that. I think that this all happened after I left. I was just there. I was going to try and CT it. Sit in the middle, chill. I had enough friends. I didn't think anyone was coming for me. I was chilling. And even when I got put into elimination, I wanted to just be like, give me anyone. Let's just hope it's physical, but give me anyone. And then Izzy actually...
You're like, give me anyone. Especially that cheerleader over there. I'll take on anyone whose name is Justin, who's a cheerleader.
But that's what it was like for the first day. I was like, give me anyone. And then Izzy and Jake were like, why would you say that? Just like you can choose. You've literally got the numbers. You can choose. And I'm like, well, in that case, give me the tiny cheerleader.
Yeah.
But backfired. Like, you know, I should have stuck with trying to look cool.
Dude, I know the feeling, man. All right, so because here's the way that I saw it, and again, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed like coming in, Izzy and Olivia, obviously, like, you know, right away, kind of like connected. Izzy said, you know, I've watched you. I love what you've done in the past. I love your energy. You also are, you know, dating Theo. So, I mean, I think Olivia and Theo coming in were like a very
good people to know, yeah.
Yeah, and especially to a lot of the new people, that's who they kind of wanted to form around. And then because Theo was British, I guess Izzy just assumed, well, we'll start working together. And that right there, I feel like, was kind of the nucleus of like what this British alliance became. And the thing is like it was there because multiple people talked about it. I don't think you did, but Jake spoke about it. Izzy spoke about it. You know, obviously Olivia.
No one really asked me about this British alliance. People think, oh, you and Theo, because you're British, you're in. People don't forget the last time I saw Theo was in War of the Worlds, where I literally sent him into elimination week after week after week until he got eliminated. We haven't spoke since. We don't like each other.
Yeah.
So coming in, people are like, oh, this is British. No, there isn't. Like, I like Jake because I know him from home. I did not know Izzy, but obviously I like the way she looked. But I was not in an alliance at all. I was chilling. So this whole thing kind of orchestrated around me and brought me in by proxy because I am British. But
or was it kind of, because what it looked like to me, it almost looked like a convenient set of circumstances because obviously you and Izzy had a thing. You guys were canoodling night one. She wanted to be paired up with Theo, which then almost made it like, all right, well, whatever beef the two of you had, that automatically would neutralize it because if the girl you're hooking up with is now partners with this guy that you used to beef with, that kind of goes out the window.
If I'd lasted longer, maybe that would have been a conversation down the road, but I didn't last long at all, so to speak.
Okay, was there ever, when we got, because we knew we were going to pick teams, we knew we were going to go based on where we finished, knowing where Theo finished on the first climb.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a discussion between you and Izzy, like why would you not want to have, if we actually all thought this is going to be our partners to the end, wouldn't you tell her, like, pick me?
Yeah, I did. At one point, I sat down with her, and the way it was shown afterwards made it look like she picked Theo, and it was like, and I was like, oh. When in actual fact, she told me straight away, I've already had a conversation with Olivia. I'm going to pick Theo. That's done. I've already agreed to it. I don't want to go back on that. And I was kind of like, I'd already kissed her at this point, and, you know, tried, and I was like, I'm not going to beg. So I was like, okay, cool. If that's you, then that's you. I was convinced we weren't going to stay with our partners for long. But then again, yeah, I didn't beg for it. I just said, you know, I just got stuck in with her and kind of said, you know, I'm here if you want me, but yeah, I'm not going to fucking, you know, if you've already, like, on your word said I'm going to choose Theo.
Yeah.
And he's a good competitor, despite, I mean, he's got his asthma and whatever, he struggled on the hill, but he is a really good competitor.
Yeah.
And so I've got no beef with that, and it is what it is, you know.
So then you were like, all right, well, I can't have Izzy, the one that finished very first out of females. Let me go to the opposite end of the spectrum, and I'll just team up with Adrienne.
Adrienne finished high up.
On what?
On the mountain.
Oh, I meant the challenge.
Yeah, well, obviously it wasn't.
Did she pick you or did you pick her?
She picked me.
Okay.
But
so then you really had no choice.
Yeah, no, I didn't really have a clue. Like, I just tried to, and also I didn't do that great on the mountain. I did like middle of the pack or whatever, but I was just trying to chill at the beginning. I just thought nothing could go that wrong that I'm going home anytime soon. But it turns out, like, Adrienne chose me. We didn't, like, you got the dry side, we got the wet side.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
No, I'm not making excuses, but yeah, me and Adrienne didn't really click, and we're both, like, Adrienne will be the first person to say she's like a heavy girl. She's not like super athletic. She's good at hikes and whatever, going up and down mountains. But when it comes to a mudslide, you know, back to back with me, it didn't work well. Like, just physically, it didn't work well. And then when my encouragement was taken as criticism, so then she started shouting at me. So everything went wrong. Then she hurt her foot. Then obviously
Well, wait, how'd she hurt her foot?
Because she took her shoes off, which apparently was my idea. But I mean, you can ask Adrienne. It was her idea 100 times first, but it was shown that it was my idea, which is great. Why not?
The best.
Let's just make me look like a massive dickhead.
No, not a dickhead. It just made it look like, hold on. if we have like these like cross country Under Armour, shoes like spikes on them, you can't get grip with those. Let's take those off and do it barefoot. That might. I mean, to be fair, nobody knew there was gonna be rocks in there. They're gonna slice your foot open. But yeah, I don't think you're gonna get better traction.
When you
barefoot.
shouted at someone to get up 100 times and they're like, no, and they're like, I need to take my shoes off, I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to do to get to the fucking top of this hill, sweet, do it.
What's funny is that's not the first time I've seen people do that before. We've been in. I remember we were in a final. And I forget who it was, but they were like, "Oh my God, my feet are hot. I need to take my shoes off mid-final." We had to stop while they literally took their shoes off and started running barefoot. And I'm like, "How is this any better?"
Yeah, that's not the smartest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So on the record, what you're saying is you had no knowledge of this of this British Alliance contingency that wanted my head on a spike.
I was British and
you were.
I was.
Okay.
I still am, as far as I know. Although I'm kind of getting a bit American. I'm getting a bit of an accent now. I've been here for like 4 days.
Yeah.
But no, Izzy kept saying about this British Alliance. And I was like, will you shut up about this British Alliance?
Yeah.
Because you shouting, we've got a British Alliance to a house full of American people. How is that a good idea? But she was new, she was fired up, and she thought she had
and she had
everyone on
Olivia
her
in
side.
her ear.
Exactly.
Let's be real.
So, yeah, of course. So it was, I was just like, cool, but it's not something that I want to do. But also, yeah, it was, she was quite,
here's the deal.
She was quite nice on
Rogan,
the
at this point, I don't even care. Because if you were, the way I see it.
I definitely wasn't coming for you. Your head wasn't on a spike as far as I was concerned, no. British Alliance, maybe by proxy, and did, whatever. I was just a bit of a yes
But I
man
feel like
talking.
I was the main focal point of
You
the
were a
British
target
Alliance.
for
I mean,
Olivia,
even Jake said it. He's like, Jake, like when I won, he was like, oh, this is the worst thing that could have happened. Bananas won. Like, we got to get Bananas out. Izzy, obviously. I think Olivia got in her ear like right away because I actually thought I had a pretty good conversation with Izzy night one, and I was talking to her and Tay, and I remember being like, hey, Izzy, like, just so you know, I got a lot of experience. Like, you came in first. You might want to consider picking me. And I remember them. I was like, what girl? I was like, I'll tell you who I have beef with if you tell me who you have beef with. And they're like, who? I was like, definitely Cara Maria. Just based on our track record, she's going to try and come after me. So that's why I don't trust. I was like, who do you guys not trust? And they pointed at D. And they were like, we don't trust her. She's a snake, blah, blah, blah. So at that point, I was like, all right, cool. Like, I hadn't really spoken to D at all because I just wanted to admire her from afar.
Of course.
Behind a tree.
Do you have a boyfriend? I can't believe they left that in.
I can't believe it. I'm so
I
glad.
wasn't expecting it when I was watching it back because I remember it happening. I was pissing myself, and then I watched it back. I was like, "That's so good."
Because they were so mad. Production was so mad at me. Because not only because I doubled down. It wasn't the first time. It was the second time.
Yeah.
Do you want one? I was serious though. Yeah. At that point, I was like, all right, cool. Like, I've had some good chats. I pulled the girls for some chats. I thought that like, maybe my reputation this season won't follow me. And then, bro, within no time, it was literally night 2. That was the party night. I think it was the next night before our first challenge. It was when me and D were upstairs and we were making fun of CT's big fat caterpillar toe. And and Derek comes up and goes, hey, just so you know, dude, like your name's already being floated around about being the first vote. I'm like, how in the fuck?
On the first night?
First night. Before the first challenge. The day before the mud challenge.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Derek's the one that comes up because just so you know, and I'm like, this is unbelievable, dude. And then I come to find out, obviously, that the kind of the nucleus was the Olivia,
for sure.
Theo. Here's the thing: I think you and Theo were probably by proxy.
Yeah.
Like I think you were just getting brought along with your girls, dude.
Of course. But the thing is, I was very much in my. You've got to remember, I'm a vet. But I was kind of in with the new threats. But I consider myself like not an old wise vet, not like. But I was sat there with CT and Derek because I'm close with both of them, like inside outside the game. So and they were both like, looks like Banana's name's getting chucked around, and I was like, oh really? And they were like, well, yeah, it's kind of. And I was such surprised to anyone because no one has spoken to me about this. But this must have been the Olivia, Theo, Izzy, whatever.
And that is such a CT thing to do.
But then CT and Derek, they didn't show it, right? But I'll tell you right now, they were both like, we're not going to say his name, but we're not against it. And I was sat there like, oh, bro, here we go.
I'm telling you.
Maybe it was there more along. Maybe it was there more along. You never know.
This is, and you know this. And here's the thing. And I've said this 100 times on the podcast. CT's game, he's very good. Him and I have never directly, I think the only time I ever said his name was on Free Agents. And it was when Nani and I won, whatever, and then we had a choice of who to throw in, and we sent him in with Cara Maria.
Okay.
And that's the only time I think I've ever said his name. Other than that, he'll never say my name. I'll never say his. But what he does is he is very good at if not encouraging people, leading people to believe that this is already a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
So by saying that, like, oh, well, he might have heard it from one person. Yep, well, sounds like it's Banana's name that's getting thrown. Even though it's like, no, you're the one that's spreading that propaganda.
It's a good way to spread, to be fair. It is a good way to do it.
And then he'll come up. He always pretends like he's just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger.
100%.
It's like, you're not the messenger. You're the propagandist, dude. Where
did you hear that? In the mirror.
Yeah, exactly. Who'd you tell that to? Myself. I actually wrote a note, set it down, went and picked up the note and goes, guys, look at this note I just found. That's how it's always been. It's almost like how we're fighting a war against Russia right now. We want to fight them, but we're fighting them through like a proxy war through Ukraine.
Yeah.
You know?
It's got to go in the right way.
Yeah. But I'm glad, thank you, Rogan. I appreciate that. We broke some new ground on here.
Okay. Nice.
All right. So so now, obviously going into the first challenge, we don't know what it's going to be. We show up, we're buckled to our partners.
Yeah.
What was your thought going into this, like, with Adrian? Did you have any, like, past?
You know what? Like, when we got there, and Adrian was like, oh, I used to play a bit of rugby and stuff back in the day. Obviously, I played rugby my whole life. When I saw it was balls, like mud wrestling with balls, I'm very good at playing with balls. And if you remember,
Aren't we all?
I don't think you were still there, War of the Worlds 2, when there was the mud wrestle.
No.
So I smashed Leroy to bits, Jordan to bits. I was like throwing them around like a ragdoll. So when I saw it was the same thing that I won before, like me and Josh were the last people left. We were taking people out, man. It was awesome. So when I saw it, I was like, yeah. And then Adrian was like, yeah, I played rugby. I was like, oh, we are fucking smoking this. I was like, there's no way we're not winning this. Like, I'm going to smash people up. And then it was like, you're strapped back to back. And then it was like, you just need to get the ball and run back. So there was no real, like, fighting. And then I was like, oh, shit. And then slowly it dawned on me, like, this is getting worse and worse. And then when we couldn't get up the hill, we're sliding down the hill.
Now Bananas is on the dry side that doesn't have an incline.
You said it. You said it, not me. But yeah, that's exactly right. So it just got worse and worse. And then Adrian cut her foot before we even went down for the second one. It kind of shows in the episode that she hurt her foot at the end. It's not true. She hurt her foot like pretty early on because I made her take her shoes off. But so things just got worse and worse. And then it was a coin flip for girls or guys. So things just kind of snowballed. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was so happy. The thing is, the villa was so nice. Yes. The cast was so good. Yeah. I had so many friends there. Like, I was having the time of my life. I was a little bit ill, but like, man.
It's the worst feeling, dude. I know that feeling. And it's like, I don't really know. The challenge is one of the few places where you could go to feeling like you got the world by the balls. You're on, like you said.
Yeah.
I've got this big group of people. Like, I am sitting pretty. I got the girl. I've got, this sick house. Like, it's my first time. You know what I mean? Like, and then you somehow end up on the bottom. You're like, and you're just literally, after you hear TJ make the announcement, you're like, how the fuck did this happen? First, out of the gate.
And the season before, we were underground in a bunker.
Yeah.
For 10 fucking weeks.
Yeah.
So when I'm in the sun, I'm getting a nice tan. Yeah. I'm having some wine by the pool. Yep. Like you said, I've got the chick. Like, it couldn't be better. Yeah. And then it's like, you are eliminated.
You are at the bottom.
Then I'm on a flight home just like crying whilst crammed next to some massive guy on a plane.
You're going directly into elimination. So we find out, we don't know how the voting is going to go down. Obviously, we know that D and I then get to save a pair. My immediate thought out of the gate was, all right, well, obviously I want to save one of my people that they're obviously going to try and target to get rid of one of my numbers. So originally I went up to Leroy and Nani. I'm like, you two are the closest to me. I was like, they're not going to throw in Jeremy and Aviv, but they'll probably potentially try and throw one of you in. So I'm probably going to save you. And that was the idea going into the first day. I'm going to save one of my friends. It wasn't until the next morning when this plan then,
Whose plan was that?
It was literally Ashley, because this plan was
a clever plan if it worked.
It was like Ashley, Nani, Leroy, and maybe Aviv, because that was their room. Well, Leroy's downstairs, but that was the girls' room. And this plan was brought to me. That's why it's like,
Yeah,
as much as I'm
I
always
saw that.
given credit for like, oh, you're a snake or you're masterminding this, you're manipulating that. I was like, this is gonna be easy. We're safe. We get to save someone. Like, we're chilling. It's probably gonna be one of my friends. And they were the ones like, no, save one of the Brits. That way
To
they don't
save
get a vote.
Yeah. It's a clever plan, but it backfired.
Big time.
Yeah.
Because then I pulled Theo aside and I was like, hey man, like I know there's been a little bit of rift between, but I just want to extend the olive branch. He knew.
I didn't believe you for a second.
Total bullshit.
No. Yeah, no, it was never gonna work.
But I'm so annoyed. I was like, of course. There was almost like, I don't know if you saw last season, season 40.
Bits.
So basically, the way it went is if you won, you were then able to put targets on 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before the shakeup and before the halfway point change in voting, if someone had already been into elimination, they could still be a target, right? So I come in, I win. Tori had just completely fucked me. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to make Tori a target. So TG goes, all right, Bananas, you won. You can pick anyone except for Tori. And I feel like it's the same shit. I'm like, what? How is the person that has now been saved that we get to now still gets a vote? Like, what was the point? It was basically a waste of a save.
Yeah.
In essence.
It was.
Which sucked. But so that plan was brought to me. At what point, because it shows the night out when we're at the bar and you kind of have a conversation, you have a chat with Ben. At what point did you have your mind set that you wanted to take a shot at Justin?
The thing is, I got to the bar and I was still trying to look cool. And I was like to Izzy, like, just, I'll go against anyone. I don't think...
Throw in Gabe.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Well, it might have gone better because he isn't a cheerleader, like, athlete, like, that could spin around like Justin did. So, it could have gone a lot of ways. Like, firstly, going back to the challenge, one thing I should mention is that, remember on the episode, Tay and CT get to the top and CT goes, no more, we're done. And Tay's like, there's more balls, let's go. And CT's like, nah. And eventually she convinces him to go down. If they hadn't gone down and got 2 more balls, they would have finished on 34. We finished on 35.
Stop.
So just because they went down and got the last 2 balls, otherwise CT would have been an elimination for a start.
What you guys should have done was just come over to my side, up the dry side, dude.
The dry side, we should have just run up the dry side and ran round.
Dude, you would have been quicker.
That would have been
run up to my side, run all the way around, then put it in and come back down.
Yeah. That would have been.
You didn't think of that?
No, I did not.
Damn.
At the time, but now I know. So first it was, but again it was like, CT was actually the one that was like, just let's get some low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, yeah, I guess that's Ben or Justin.
CT again. I'm telling you, man.
He's so clever. How does he do this? So I was thinking back, it's like hindsight. But then, so I knew Ben kind of outside. I'd actually watched him get knocked out in a bare knuckle boxing fight like 2 weeks before, just by chance. I happened to, because I was living in Spain, and he had a fight in Marbella, and a guy called Oscar Willis knocked him out in the first round. It was pretty cool, but like badass of Ben to step into a bare knuckle boxing fight.
When I see, he's one of those guys.
You wouldn't think he would.
In a million years,
no.
In a million years, you would never think that Ben is a guy that's going to get into the ring and mix it up. Bare knuckles.
Bare knuckle as well. But yeah, so I'd seen him for that, and I knew that like he was a commentator of Misfits, and he talks about the UFC a lot, which I'm a big fan of. So I kind of knew him. So I was like, look, I don't know that Justin guy, but I know you. I'm happy if you vote for Justin. I won't even mention your name. And he was like, promise you. Then he obviously voted for Jake.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. No one mentions that.
Well, it was Nani. It was because
of Nani.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. But again, like he could have been like, no, I've promised Rogan.
Yeah.
But he didn't. No one mentioned. People mentioned Derek C, backstabbing, but Ben really stabbed me in the back, to be honest.
Sort of. I think the reason people were so upset with the Derek thing, and I totally see why, is Derek made it more. Derek made it about more than just a vote.
Yeah.
He made it more about like the principle of the situation. Like basically they look at us as weak because, we're gay.
Yeah.
So we need to stick together. And I will never say your name because I would never want that to happen to me. And it was like this really kind of heartfelt, like beautiful moment that they had. And it was like, we're sticking together. Like, I got you. Like, I've been through this before. And then it's like, but then he goes,
12 hours later.
Yeah, but my alliance means more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In Derek's defense, like, obviously it's not much of an excuse, but he was fucking hammered when he had that heartfelt conversation.
Yeah,
Do you remember when he
yeah,
just come
yeah,
back from the bar,
yeah.
everyone was like falling over,
Yeah.
and that's when they chose to
Well,
have
he
it, so-
probably also, when he was having that conversation, didn't realize that 12 hours later he was going to be put in a position where he basically had to choose
he had
between
the choice as well, yeah.
Yeah, where he had to choose between the two. But I mean, listen, man, we've all been there.
We've all had cute conversations. In reality, he had known
And
it
I
for
think
2
Derek's
days.
taking it well. Like, he posted this meme, you know, like the Homer Simpson meme where he backs
I was
into
going to
the
comment on it,
bushes.
being like, "Can I join you in there? Room for a little one?"
I'm like, this is the first time you've ever been in a bush. That's why I'm going to comment. It comes down to the deliberation, and it was like, I'm not gonna lie, it was. I mean, we were counting the numbers. It was neck and neck between, and that's when the first like real divide was really shown in the house between, you know, the British contingency and then, you know, kind of everyone else.
So because I was so ill, I haven't really talked about this much, but like, and again, I don't like making excuses, but because I was really ill, during that, I went to bed, and then production moved me to the kitchen. We had to stay in the kitchen for some reason.
I know,
So
stupid.
I took my bed to the kitchen, and I slept in there for an hour while the deliberation was going on. Then I was allowed to go back upstairs, but people were all in my room, so I literally went into Turbo's bed. He doesn't know this. Thanks, Turbo. And napped in his bed, and then I got woken up, and I just assumed it was Jake, because when I was in the kitchen, I could kind of hear Jake.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, it's Jake. It wasn't until just before we left, like, no, because no one had told me anything. They just assumed I knew. And then I walked into a room, and then everyone was like, oh, by the way, you should thank Anissa and Derek. They really like stood up for you. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, oh, that's cute, but you know, me and Jake have got to go head to head now. It's going to be a bit, you know, I didn't want to do that. And they were like, what? No, it's not. And that's when I did the
Wait, which
iconic...
Derek? Because you
both
should also thank Derek and CT.
Yeah.
And now it makes so much more sense when you told me earlier when they were like, yeah, I think it's going to be bananas. Because those were two shocking, surprising votes to me.
Yeah.
Because they voted in Justin over Jake. And I'm like, guys, you've seen the way the majority of like the vets have voted. And you guys basically voted with the other side.
Yeah, well, I think CT and Derek, like, I've known them, well, as long as I've known you, but I've got close with them, you know?
Yeah.
I've done a lot of Challenge Mania stuff with Derek, and I chat to him all the time. Me and CT won together, and then went on a month-long bender in Thailand together. So we've like connected, and so I kind of, you know, not expected it, but, you know, it was nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. Yeah, it wasn't until I found out right before is when I stupidly made that. Let's hope it's not pom poms down there.
And there was, and basically, it was cartwheels.
Yeah, it's cartwheels.
You
Yeah,
basically cartwheels.
Nah, I should have done a lot better in that. But yeah, it suited him, because imagine I just watched. Obviously, we'll get to episode 2, but the laser game.
Yeah.
Imagine that was me and Justin. That would have been a serious Raspberry Ripple conversation.
That would have been bad. That would have been Jay. That would have been Jay part 2.
I was so cocky as well. Not cocky, but like on the way there, I kind of like hugged Justin, like almost. I didn't say it out loud, but I was almost like
saying goodbye.
I'm sorry, this is about to happen to you.
Yeah.
Because I just had visions of what I did to Jay. I was like, this guy's even smaller than Jay. I'm going to really hurt him. But then, you know, that's why you should never count your chickens. Never count your bananas.
Dude, trust me, man. I think we've all been there where you underestimate the person that you're going against because you think. I mean, that happened to me once. I thought I was going to lose. I don't know if you know who Preston is, but I went into elimination, and at first I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to pack. I'm not even going to pack my shit.
I didn't pack.
So
I didn't. That's why, you know, in my interviews, you see me with fluffy hair.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, I've got like an afro in the interviews because I didn't, and they couldn't find my hair wax the next morning before my interviews, so I had to go in just looking rough. But yeah, I didn't pack. It's way too cold. But the thing is as well, and another CT comment, right? And Cara Maria, they go, by the way, it's always a headbanger. That's why I started saying, Justin, and I was like, give me anyone. They're like, it's always a headbanger to kick off. Like, it's never not a headbanger to start the series. So I was like, oh, okay, in that case.
Well, and production probably heard that, and they're like,
fuck you guys.
We got to get them. I mean, we don't need to rub salt in the wound on the elimination, but one thing I could say from that is if you're trying a technique, and it's not working, you should probably try switching it up.
What about screaming really loud and running headfirst into a wall over and over again?
I think that's you. If you would have done that 15 more times, I think you would have won.
I think you have your strategies. I have mine. No, it was pretty embarrassing to watch back. But like I said, give flowers to Justin. Thank God he was good, because imagine if we were both just stuck as stalemate where I just continued to headbutt the wall.
And listen, man, I don't want to say that sometimes this is why you don't want to call it your competition. And I know you're probably going to say this isn't true, but I think had Jake been in there, I think you would have beat Jake at that.
I honestly don't think I would have beaten anyone. I was
think you
so
would've.
bad, bro.
No, I think you would have. I think you would have beat Jake at that.
Maybe also like, again, but like we flip for who goes closer to people, and I think Jake having the help from yourself, and
Justin.
Justin. Sorry,
Yeah.
having the help from everyone.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear a thing. Like
Wow,
I
okay.
couldn't see. You guys couldn't hear a thing.
Yeah.
And so I know it's a tiny advantage, but
No, it's
being
not.
able to listen
No,
to people and because I was just literally
it's not at all, because we saw what needed to. Once you see it happen a few times, you see like what needs to happen, and it was just about getting that one little tiny extra push to get it over.
Yeah, and once on the first time I went over, I held on and I let go. You watch it in the episode, but it wasn't like, it should be an action replay, because I let go at the top and like kind of land on the back of my head.
Yeah.
And from that, I thought I was going to throw up. I threw up as soon as we finished. I was throwing up at the back. I was so dizzy. It took me ages to do my interview and come back in because I didn't know where I was. I was genuinely concussed.
Yeah.
But again, I don't like talking about like excuses.
Yeah.
Justin was good. I wasn't, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I'll be better next time.
Well, I mean, he's a cheerleader, dude. There's certain times you go into elimination and you're like, this is basically like built in the other person's favor, and that was
I was looking for a little pole on the floor, or like a fireball situation, or a horrible situation, or anything physical. But as soon as I knew I could get my hands on him, it was just like, and I saw what it was. I was like, but I still thought in my head, you don't think about anything else apart from how you're going to win. So I still thought it was. But yeah, in retrospect, he not got lucky, but it favored him. Sometimes you get the rub of the green, sometimes you don't.
Exactly.
And like I said earlier about, like Adrian and me not being good partners, Adrian hurting her foot, the flip of the coin.
I mean, you look back, I just think you
things.
caught a really bad string of bad luck all like at one time.
Yeah.
Like one of those things you could come back from here and there, but it's like when you stack all that shit up together,
Thank you for acknowledging that.
You're welcome. I've been there before.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens. It happens.
It does, but then, like I said on the episode, Vendettas, I went out first. The next season, I won it. So that's what I'm going to do next time.
Yeah, that's how you do. That's what I'm saying. You go out first, winner to the end, out first. So you're back on track to win
Spoiler
to the end.
alert, if I get past episode 1 in 42,
Yes,
I'm going to win.
you're good.
Or at least the final.
Or you make the final. All right, we reshuffle the deck. I think this is, and I said this last episode, I'm going to say it again, dumbest production move ever. Here's why.
Shuffling? Why? Because you wanted to stay with D?
No, well, duh,
Obviously.
that. But no, I'm just talking about for the game. I don't think I've ever been on a season where there was this clear of a divide in the house this early on. Usually, everyone plays nice for a little bit. They don't really take sides. Everyone goes the easiest route. There's no like real like rift in that. Or if there is, it's isolated to a very small minority of people that are beefing. This was like the house was literally split in half, and not only was it split in half, you actually had like some vet on vet crime almost that was about to start taking place because you had people like Derek and CT who kind of in a way like went with the other side. So it was very.
I don't think that was the British Alliance. I think that was me, like without blowing my own trumpet too hard. Derek and CT were genuinely looking out for me.
Not really, but here's why though. That's a cop-out, right? Saying, I'm going to give this person who they want, that is a cop-out because that's just taking the easy way out. Because you know as well as I do, once the season goes on, if I'm not working with you, I don't give a shit who you want. I'm sending in who I want you to go against.
Of course.
So I just think that was a cop-out on their behalf. But my point is, I feel like they could have gone either way, and it was no skin off their back.
I just like to think it was about me to make me feel special.
You know what it was.
But also, if we skip forward a little bit to episode 2, CT... like Tay and CT were partners last time and part of the UK Alliance together or whatever, but Tay straight away. And people were going against, I mean, I know it was like, but it was Blue or Tay, right?
Yeah.
And people were just saying Tay willy-nilly. Tay was very much, if anyone was in the British Alliance, she was, because
I just think they felt like at that point. I don't think I think they felt like she was kind of, she wasn't like an important piece of the puzzle. My only point is by reshuffling the deck at the end of episode 1, by having everyone pick new partners right away, what it did is it neutralized. I end up with Izzy, dude. Mm-hmm. And that was all out of strategy. That was to be like, this is why. I was like...
You're protecting yourself there big time.
Well, no, I just wanted to add insult to injury to you.
Very kind.
All part of my strategy. Yeah. I'm like, don't worry, Rogan. She's safe with me.
Nice.
No, but the way I saw it was, I was like, all right, what's the best way to get yourself out of like this jam or whatever? Okay, then just pair up with the enemy. That way I knew... that I was like, regardless of what happens in this next challenge.
I'm surprised you didn't pick Olivia. Oh no, you can't.
You can't.
You got to go with new threat. Of course you have. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
So by doing that though, it wasn't just our rivalry, whatever you want to call it. It reshuffled the entire deck, and it went from being a clear divide.
And you think that was a bad move?
Yes,
I think
for show. No, I'm just saying for the show, because if they were going to do that, they should have waited a couple of challenges, dude. They should have, because that right there, that divide would have carried on to the next challenge. Think about it. Those pairs are still the same. Everyone's still going to be... this one, everyone was best friends. Everyone was kumbaya. This divide no longer existed.
Yeah.
Because now everyone was paired up.
Strong that early on, like War of the Worlds 2, like we just kept chopping away, and like there was nothing you guys could do about it. I mean, you kind of went early, but there was a certain point where there was nothing anyone could do, and it was inevitable. It was just.
But I'm just saying,
no matter which way it went.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. My point is, you don't know which way it was going to go. My point is, though, there was going to be a clear divide, and there was going to be this back and forth, which then didn't necessarily happen. Okay. So, all right. Obviously, like the big standout story moment in this episode is, all comes from me and my partnership with D. And that apparent
partnership, is that what you call it?
My partnership.
Your situationship?
My situationship.
Your entanglement?
It was a quantum entanglement. Because unbeknownst to me, she had previously had relations with Will, which I was totally unaware of.
Yeah.
Okay? I did kind of notice, though, this is when I started to notice, because him and I, here's the most awkward part. Him and I bunked basically together.
Oh, wow.
Our bunks were as close as me and you, and we would sit there, and like, I was in the room with Jeremy, Cedric, and Will, and we would literally sit there in bed and like, pillow talking at night. Me and him like staring at each other this close together. So
you didn't take D back to your bunk, no?
No, well, not yet. We hadn't gotten that point yet. This was still all really very early on. Like nothing had really transpired. We had partnered up, but nothing really happened until the first night I went out to the bar. And that's what I'm saying. I noticed this particular night, whenever her and I were talking, he was always just kind of like in the peripheral, and you'll see it in the episode.
Yeah, I see it. It's like slow-mo and a good Will, ding.
Well, when we're at the bar, talking, he walks by, and then the really awkward. This is when I started to realize something was up. Because I even asked D. I'm like, what went on with you guys? She's like, oh, nothing. We just had like a little thing like before we got into the game,
which might confuse the viewers at home. With American people, right? And this might be wrong, but as far as I'm aware, a hookup could be a kiss.
Yes.
Could be a little.
Yeah.
Or it could be full blown sex.
Yeah.
So when people say, "Oh, I hooked up with her,"
yeah,
is there a definition or not? Or a hookup could be anything.
According to her, it was like
it was a kiss.
That was it.
But he made it sound like we were hooking up in the hotel, like they were fucking.
Yeah. So, which again was not the case, but. It was. I remember sitting there. It was the scene where Turbo gives me his glasses, and we're sitting. He gives me a little fucking middle finger on the spring.
That was cool.
She's sitting on my lap, and Will literally comes up and sits down behind us. Now I'm aware of like kind of the situation. I actually took a picture of it on my phone, buddy. It's the funniest shit ever. If you want to talk about an awkward situation for me to be in, look at this.
Oh my god,
that's so good.
Oh wow, he got that real look in his eye as well.
It's peeking out from behind. So this, and I'm sitting here and I'm actually feeling it. D, I think's loving every second of this.
Oh god, yeah, she is.
She's loving. She like set this entire thing up. Like she's now like put herself squarely in the middle of like this love triangle that I have absolutely no interest in being.
She
involved
likes him watching.
Exactly.
Yes.
But I'm like, I have no interest in being involved in this little entanglement. Like,
yeah,
I've
but
got
you're
enough-
also not going to back down if he starts kicking off.
I got enough to worry about as it is. I don't need now to be stuck in this situation where I'm like, being pitted against my roommate. Why can't my girlfriend and my roommate just get along and stop hooking up in hotels?
Do you know what Will reminded me of in the whole situation?
What's that?
Theo. There's something about how someone so big can get so drunk off a Pinot Grigio. I don't know how it happens. Like, but Will, every time he had a drink, I was only there for a couple of days. Every time he had a drink, he was just like, next level drunk, like falling over everywhere. I was like, dude, how can you not handle a couple of beers? You're so big, man.
And emo.
An emo?
Emotional.
Oh, yeah.
Very.
I thought you meant he loved the rock bands.
That too. Well, no, that's why they're called emo, because those are like, because you're emo when you listen to that type of music.
Punching chairs, punching walls over some girl you just kissed.
I know.
Nah, man, could never be me.
I feel, and that's what I said. I was like, dude, if it's this important, okay, like I don't want to be mixed up in the middle of this. Like, I didn't realize there was, and that's what I made clear with her is I was like, how deep did you guys go? Because he seems very. Like, this is, I don't feel like a guy's going to get this emotionally attached.
I've never seen a girl more emotionless at the same time. She was like, I don't care about your feelings. I was like, wow, one of us.
The other little mix up at the bar that I really want to make sure everyone understands, like, the full spectrum of like what went down. The most unlikely fight occurs between Derek Chavez and Leo.
That was so weird. I didn't even understand it.
So here's what happened. This is why it's so fucking funny. Leo didn't want to pay for drinks. You know, a lot of times you go to bars, like when you're at the bar, nobody wants to pick up a tab, even though it's like you realize the entire 15 drinks is $7.
Oh, he just assumed that
so what
he
he
wouldn't
did,
have to pay for drinks. Didn't bring
so
a
what he
card or
did
something?
is Derek buys a drink. He's standing right next to him, and Leo goes, "Oh, it's 2 for 1 night." So basically, like, give me that drink, you get another one for free. So he takes Derek's drink.
He just sat by the bar all night, said it to everyone that ordered a drink.
Where there was no 2 for 1 deal. So it was just Leo's way. He basically, Derek gets a drink. He goes, yo, you get 2 of those for 1. Derek gives him his. Leo takes off, and then Derek goes, can I get my second drink? They're like, there's no 2 for 1.
Does Love Island not pay well? What's going on?
I guess not. So now Derek, I think Derek probably still felt some sort of way about all the shit he was getting for Justin. So it was like he had to kick off. So, he went ballistic on Leo and basically called him out for being a cheapskate in front of the entire house.
Wow, that's rough, man.
All right, so we get this. Shot of us going back to the house again, totally unaware of what was going on the threats bus, but apparently, Will was really really simmering, and Dee's sitting right next to him. So that's what I'm saying. It's almost like you said, it was almost like she was like egging him on. It seemed like
she seems very.
She couldn't have cared any less.
Yeah, she's crazy, man.
Couldn't have cared less.
Do you guys?
She
know
is crazy.
Who,
that's why I love her.
When I look like respectfully, D, and I'm not comparing you to it, but do you guys know who Bonnie Blue is?
Bonnie, no.
Oh, okay.
Who's Bonnie Blue?
Maybe we could pull up like who she is on.
Okay, who is she?
She's an OnlyFans girl who slept with 1,000 men in one day.
Okay, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
But
I didn't know her name.
I'm not saying D is like sleeping
D,
with 1,000
you have something
guys.
you want to tell me?
I'm not saying you're like that in any way. Please don't edit it to make it look like that. I'm saying when I
land
look
the
at her,
plane here, Rogan.
I'm saying when you look at Bonnie Blue and she like talks about like things that she's done, which is quite crazy. Just there's nothing behind the eyes. Yeah, and I just feel like D is just like. No emotion when she's talking about Will, and like he's literally crying his eyes out.
Yeah,
but again, that's not a problem. She would kind of relate to it a little bit because like, that's not my problem.
So
that he's
you
emotional,
just compared my future ex-wife to an OnlyFans star that slept with 1,000 guys.
Yes.
Thanks for that, Rogan. I guess welcome. I deserve that after lighting you up in the beginning.
You deserve everything you get, Johnny.
I deserved it. Okay.
But D, I'm sorry, Johnny. Fuck you.
We get back to the house, and again, like now I'm fully aware what's going on because. Anise, a little shit stir. She's in Dee's ear. She's in Will's ear. She's in my ear. I really do think that she was one of the ones that really spun that whole thing up. But she's one that's Will's upstairs like punching fucking walls.
But she also, in her defense, she was like, Will, what are you doing? Why are you pretending you're in a relationship? Like, you're not in love. Like, what are you doing? Which I thought was it's true, first of all. Like, there's no reason for him to get that emotional.
I guess not. I mean... Well, that's what caused me, and that's when we were sitting down there, and D was literally like, there was absolutely nothing. But I'm sitting in the back of my head, I'm like, So you're telling me this guy's gotten this worked up, this emotional, to where he's punching walls and crying and like just having an absolute fucking emotional meltdown over nothing. So
either she's lying or he's just a very emotional wreck. Like,
so I thought it was option A in the beginning. I'm like I was like, I didn't watch her season of Survivor, but I was told that it was like that. She's kind of like a Black Widow, like that.
You heard that she took someone to the end and then threw him in?
Yes.
Bit of a Rogan move?
Exactly. So I start thinking, I'm like, wait a minute, is this this the same game she's trying to play on me? Was it like, oh, in the beginning, all right, I'm gonna I want a big strong guy in my corner, so I'm gonna be paired up with Will. Then once you get in the house, be like, all right, well, he actually has more power and more experience.
And she knew I was taken, so
she knew you were taken, and she knew that Justin was gay. So she was basically like, I only have one option left.
Exactly.
I was after Justin. I was the option after Justin.
100%.
She's like, this guy can do better cartwheels. Like, there's like, so anyways.
He could.
So that was an odd night, especially like I said, because then I had to
crazy
go.
Night.
Well,
I couldn't stop laughing. I sent you a picture of Will crying earlier. I was sat in Starbucks and I didn't have my headphones either, so half of Starbucks was watching it with me, and I was just in tears.
Buddy, I had to go up. Do you know the most awkward part? Guess where I had to sleep?
Oh my God.
I had to go back upstairs and like.
Was he sleeping or pacing?
No, he was at this point. He was asleep.
Or just
Yeah, they had to put rubber sheets on his bed.
just put him in a little jacket.
Oh, dude. So yeah, that was. And then the next day, I didn't know what was going to transpire the next day. I'm like, is this guy going to try and like beat me up in my sleep or
no?
like?
When he's sober, he's fine.
Yeah.
No emotion, chilling, nice guy. Couple Pinot Grigios.
Those
punching walls, baby. They'll get you.
Grigios will get you.
They will get you.
The other thing, unbeknownst to me, and again, it always happens in hindsight, watching back, I was really unaware that my girlfriend at this point had a different number one, Jeremy, and was in this full-blown alliance.
I love that.
The Janes and the Tarzan.
And you had no idea.
No idea.
That says it all, doesn't it?
Really sneaky.
Yeah. He is gorgeous as well.
He really is.
He's beautiful, man.
He kind of, you know who Jennifer Connelly is, the actress?
Yeah.
Doesn't he kind of look like Jennifer Connelly? She's hot though. That's what I'm
she's
saying.
so hot.
I know.
Why am I attracted to this man?
I don't.
It's like,
well, try rooming with him.
yeah,
Buddy,
must
he'd
have been
get
tough.
down wearing like I thought
Walking
I
in
wore
a little towel like
I
Tarzan.
thought I wore short shorts. This man wears really short shorts.
I'm a fan of short shorts.
Like they're barely even underwear. And he's like one of those guys like, and he has no problem like just kind of sitting out there, just letting it all hang out. I'd get out of bed and he'd be like posted up on like the couch, being like, "So bananas, you want to talk game or what?" Like, Jeremy, could you please put your penis away?
No.
Dude, yeah.
So they had an alliance.
Yeah, so, and I didn't realize that this was. I came to find out this after the fact. But that was another thing I called into question. I'm like, wait a minute. So how does this alliance? Where did I fit in this alliance? Especially because
she had
like
so many plates spinning.
Yeah.
She had Will over here,
Yeah.
one finger, you there, Jeremy somewhere over here. Wow, that's incredible.
unbelievable.
What a woman! What a woman! She'll be back. I feel like she'll be back.
You can't live with them and you can't trust them,
No,
but you need them.
you do.
Yeah,
You do.
it's always the ones that are the biggest red flags.
That's
that
what we
you
like.
Have the heart.
Yeah, of course. That's what makes it more fun.
Give me a green flag. I'm like, no thanks.
You don't like green
Oh,
flags.
wait, you have a job and a career and a W-9? No, thanks. Oh, you have an arm sleeve tattoo? Perfect. Can't wait to introduce you to my parents.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm right there with you, brother.
Wait, you're on OnlyFans?
That's why we're both here.
Done. I
Still
want you to meet my mom.
Oh, it's funny because it's true. It's funny because it's true.
Yeah, dude. Oh, God. What's wrong with
We'll
this?
get one day. We'll settle
One
down
day.
one day, Johnny.
One day.
One day.
All right, the challenge. I mean, I told you, obviously, after watching it,
It was so cool.
it was cool, but here's the problem, and this is, it annoys me so bad when this happens to me with someone that has this much experience. There's so many times that we've done these puzzles. Dude, on Total Madness,
When we
remember
went
when we
down
went
the
the tube?
things?
And remember the fucking puzzle at the end? It was a mirror.
But remember, was I on your team, yeah? When we went into the tunnels?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm such a friggin' idiot. I figured out the puzzle before I went down the tube. I saw them, like, sorry,
pieces.
production. I saw them do it.
Cheater!
And I
Cheater!
It's not my fault. It's their fault. But I saw it and I went, oh yeah, you just mirror it. But then when we got to it, everyone else was doing it in front of me, and I was like, can I have a go? I was like, no, okay. but I knew what it was.
Yep.
And even when I eventually got to do it and was like, boom, buzzing, we were nowhere near the front.
There's so many times
Can't
we've
believe I
done
literally
puzzles
saw it.
and you actually think, oh no, I need to look at the puzzle key in order to solve it. All
Just
you need
figure
to
it
do
out.
is put 2 pieces in place. The rest of it it's a pattern. It falls into place. And here we are, like idiots, all of us clustered together, trying to look for, dude, it was less than a half second, dude, these cars were going over. The puzzles were all these different ways. I'm like, this is going to take us all fucking day. There's no way anyone's going to figure this out. And then we get up there, and after staring at it for a second, I see that like there was a pattern because some of the pieces were already set in place. And I was like, God damn it, dude. Like, it's
So
almost
annoying
like,
in hindsight,
how
yeah.
are you going to get me again?
Yeah.
I've been here
You should
so
know
many
by
times.
now.
I know.
25 seasons.
I know, dude. That's what's so bad.
Right, season 42, just remember, sometimes there's a pattern.
Sometimes
I'll remind
there's
you
a
when we
puzzle.
get to it.
Sometimes there is a pattern on the puzzle. Sometimes there are images on the bottom of the puzzle. Like, dude, this is why, man. Me and puzzles we had this love-hate relationship, and it's like, God,
But
you've
when
done
it
me
clicks, it
wrong so
clicks.
many times. Yeah, there's nothing better than when that puzzle clicks.
Oh, God, yeah.
But then the worst feeling is when you're like, I'm never like. You keep doing so, and it's just not working out. You're one piece off, and you're just like, I'm never gonna figure this out.
Yeah. And you look at your partner, and they're just like,
Yes.
Okay, good.
You're like, this is all on me. This is all on me, and I don't know what I'm doing. So, and then, dude, I'm thinking like, all right, me and Izzy, like, this was a breakthrough moment for us. I know she wanted, me out of the game before, but now we just want a challenge together. We, because of my somewhat quick thinking, we figured out the pattern. She goes right in her interview. She goes, yeah, well, just because we won, I still want to come from. It's just gonna be later on down the road.
For sure. I mean, I think that
Unreal.
she actually figured that out as well. Remember, you had the dry side in the first challenge. Izzy figured out in the second challenge. You got to remember this, Johnny. I don't know why you keep thinking you did it. It's all in your mind.
She did it. It was all her. It was all her.
This is a game that we play where anyone that's a vet now, anything that Johnny does, we just shit on it and say that it was production helped him or...
What do you mean now?
Oh, well, I'm new to doing this, but it's a real fun game.
Do you know that people are still trying to say that Total Madness was supposed to be an individual win? So so people out there in like Reddit world and Cara Maria, they were like, oh, no, it was supposed to be an individual win. But because Bananas didn't finish first... And Jenny did.
Jenny finished? I didn't even know she
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They decided to split it.
Not surprised, actually.
50-50.
What the fuck?
I know.
What, it was decided after?
Yeah, no, it was decided before, but then we went and reshot the intro, and then TJ's like, no, it's 500.
It's ridiculous. They also, do you remember we played a slingshot game?
Yes.
They cut
Cut it out.
They cut out my 8-minute time penalty.
Yeah, but they cut out the fact that I shot.
That.
No, they also cut out the fact that I shot I was shooting other people's fucking skulls.
Oh, really?
Because I didn't want to come out first on that.
There was 2 penalties, a 5-minute and a 3-minute. Kyle got one, Fessy got one. They both put them on me. I had 8 minutes before I could even start. But that's just cut from it.
I know.
Well,
they just convenient.
I don't like making excuses, but that's a pretty big thing to put in.
It was
a
to
part
just
of the
completely
final.
omit.
Just leave that. Just like I was just stood there at the start. I was like, didn't hear the whistle or something.
Yeah. Voting, no big surprise with the way the votes went down. I think this was like one of those situations where nobody really gave a shit one way or another who went in against Blue. It ended up being Tay. Mm-hmm. We did not expect her to have as much fight as she did.
Oh my God, it was good, wasn't it?
It was good.
It was feisty.
Yeah, no, it was really good. And the thing is, though, Blue just, as much as we were trying to give her, like, because I obviously wanted her to come back because she wasn't part of that alliance, but it was like she just wouldn't listen. It's like you can't run directly into the person, right? You have to try and get around them. You have to try and like run through the lasers other ways. And she just kept running into her and would slow her down.
Punching Tay in the face.
Yeah.
Imagine if I got, like, God forbid, gone against Justin in that and just first of all just punched him in the face straight away. But because it was 2 girls, I was just like, yeah, feisty. It's good. Let's go. I'm like, imagine a dude had just punched another dude in the face to begin with.
It was crazy. It was scrappy. They were choking each other like.
God, stop it.
Yeah. Too bad they were. I know. I was
you get me riled up.
I was like, guys, couldn't we have done this like in a pool full of baby oil? Without, why are they wearing, and why are we wearing coveralls? This is why
people don't like us, Johnny, because we say things
why
like this.
Why are we wearing coveralls? Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it should have been naked oil wrestling, for sure.
You know
Next
what?
time.
Next time.
The production will figure it out
eventually. I think next time, production, if there's 2 notes that I want you to take from this, next time, do not switch up teams right out of the gate, and if you do another one of these laser beam wrestling competitions, there's got to be a baby pool in there somewhere.
100%.
They did something similar to that actually a while ago. It was Melissa.
I'm not surprised.
It was Melissa and Sylvia. And that's basically what they were. It was a big, it was basically balls in a big tub of like soapy water.
Yeah.
And they were in like spandex.
Awesome. That's probably the last time they were allowed to do
First
something
and
like that. No, yeah.
First and last.
Now it's just like, no, we don't do that anymore. It's a shame, man. The good
is
old
a
days.
shame.
The good old days.
Unbelievable. You know? So Tay, I mean, Blue's eliminated. I mean, I think she didn't want the smoke after a while. I think
she gave up at the end, right? She looked like she was really giving it
some,
and then all of a sudden she gave up.
She gave up. I mean, it was a lot of. I mean,
because it was 2-2.
To their defense, I know, but it went for it was a lot of rounds. It went for a long time, and I think that's when it really it's that final. It's like in a boxing match. It doesn't matter what you do the first 6 rounds. It's like 6 through 12. It's like how do you finish? And I think Blue had it in the beginning. She had that fight. Tay just kept it for longer.
Tay
surprised a lot of people.
Yes.
She surprised a lot of people.
I love Tay.
Yeah.
She's hilarious. She's quite quiet, and I don't think she makes a lot of noise on camera, but she's so funny.
Yeah.
Her sense of humor is so dry. Like, I'm surprised she hasn't had more confessionals yet.
Yeah.
And hopefully that will change as the season goes on, because she is so funny.
Yeah.
And beautiful and surprisingly athletic. And I mean, she showed that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like when Australians and British kind of have this, we're like the same, because at one point they were British before they got sent over.
They were? I thought they were Dutch. I thought they were Danish.
No.
Australians?
Oh no, this is
Australians aren't Danish?
I know what you're talking about there, which is unbelievable, Johnny. That's one of your finest moments. But so Tay, just like the Brit Australian combination, I just was really rooting her on in that. And I genuinely didn't know what was going to happen. And Tay really pulled it through, and really.
Same
really
corporation, different businesses, basically.
Exactly. Big up Tay. Well done, Tay.
Well done, Tay. So yes, we all know. So she's coming back to rejoin the alliance. Blue's gone. Kind of a bummer, because I thought Blue was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, me too.
Any girl that comes in and the first thing you say to TJ is, "Why are you here? I want new titties."
Yeah, but not just I want new titties, because my mom has been going through all these brain aneurysms and like I need the hospital, and then but I also want new titties. I was like, oh my god, because I was almost in tears listening to her. So like I know what she said was true, and it was like, but the way she flipped at the end to just put the comic relief on it, she was incredible. Love Blue, yeah.
So
really good.
Either way, we lost the good one
For sure.
Why couldn't it have been America?
Oh wow, okay.
Just kidding. She may or may not be my partner soon, so I'm just kidding, America.
Spoiler.
America, fuck yeah.
America.
Well, we actually watched that this season, and no one was impressed.
What, Team America?
Yes.
It's like my favorite film.
You would have been the only other one. I made the whole house watch it.
Oh, mate.
It was our first movie night. I was like, we're watching Team America, and everyone's like, what the fuck is this? And after like 5 minutes, half the house walked out. I know.
Bro, I shout it whenever I get to New York. I literally sing it for like 2 days straight. So good.
Well, listen, man. Bummer seeing you go out as soon as you did. You're always a good time. You're one of the last. I mean, let's be real. You're one of the last like OG Brits that's still around. I mean, Kyle's married now.
Kyle's gone.
Theo's having a second kid.
Yeah. Joss is long gone. Kaylee, I don't know what's happened to her. I haven't heard from her in
George
years.
is having a baby.
Bear's in prison. Like, there's just me left, I suppose.
Ashley Kane's riding his bike around the world.
Oh my God, Ashley Kane's doing some amazing stuff.
Yeah, he is, dude.
I don't know if he'll be back. Like, that'd be good to see Ashley Kane back, actually.
Zahida? What happened to Zahida?
She just had a kid.
Did she
Yeah,
really?
she just had a kid, Just had a kid. Man. So.
What are we doing?
Just me and you, just bachelors for life.
I don't get it. Wait, so should we be having kids? Wait, who's doing the wrong thing? Is it us by not having kids, or is it all them for continuing
No, we're living
to
the
have kids?
dream, man. We're living the dream. I think we should keep doing what we're doing.
I think so.
Good.
Yeah, I don't plan on growing up anytime soon.
No, me neither.
Nope. Sorry, Mom and Dad. You're not getting.
You're my canary down the mine. When you grow up, I'll start thinking about it.
Okay. And you know what? I've said that about a few people. I was like, you know what? Me and Leroy, we're going to be... Nope. Okay.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, dude.
God,
all right, Kyle.
They're dropping like flies,
I
man.
know. I'm like, oh, all right. Now it's me and Kyle. Okay, now I just went to his wedding, and he just got married, too. All right.
You got me now, bro.
All right.
We're good.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Let's do it.
Well, I'm going to hold you to that next season. Don't go getting all googly-eyed over some other girl and letting her turn you against me again,
way.
right?
That was, I mean, that didn't happen. It might have happened, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't there long enough. It probably would have happened.
What's the next up on the schedule for you? You said you're going to be traveling soon?
So I am a dream boy, as I have been since I was 21, so for 14 years.
A dream boy.
So a stripper.
Oh, nice.
So it's like Magic Mike. Before Magic Mike was a thing, dream boys have been a thing since the 1970s. So I run the Dream Boys Marbella show. So I have my own strip show in Marbella.
Stop.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. I've only been there once. I got to come check you out.
Yeah, it's really.
I love Marbella.
It's one of that and Dubai are like the two best places. Oh, actually, I love America. Anyway, I digress. So I'm also now. Before, when I was doing the challenge all the time and I was doing so many other things, I kind of Dream Boys I wasn't there enough for. I only did like 3 or 4 shows last year. It was like a guest appearance. This year I'm doing the full. We start next week. We go to Taiwan for 2 weeks straight. We do 2 shows a day every day in Taiwan. It's going to be a lot, and I'm doing the whole show, full choreography. I don't know if you've ever seen me dance. I can't. The other guys are all spinning on their heads doing backflips. I'm just like mincing around in the middle, ripping my top off. But I get away with it somehow. People think I can dance. So
a week from now, I'll be back home recovering. Rogan will be in Taiwan, just
getting naked,
swinging his little roll of dimes around in front of everyone.
Yeah. Just doing what I can, just paying the bills.
I need to see, dude. I got to see. I need footage of this.
Yeah, you'll see it. So yeah, and then we get back to UK. We do Germany, France, Belgium.
Wow.
And then we do the whole of the UK, Ireland, Wales, Scotland, and of course all around England. So that's going to keep me very busy for the next 6 months or so. While I'm also staring at the phone, waiting for the 42 call.
For the 42 call.
Hopefully, you never know. Yeah. So
well, who knows? Maybe 42 will be somewhere you could just make a pit stop in between Dream Boys.
That'd be nice.
Bring the crew on.
Oh God, yeah.
All right. For anyone who doesn't follow you on social media, where can they find you?
At Rogue Snaps on Instagram and OnlyFans, and then Rogan O'Connor on Twitter or YouTube.
All right, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. All right, well, Rogan, again, gone too soon, man. But I'm sure we'll see you again in the future. Can't wait to see what the future holds. I mean, again, if we're going by, the way you usually do things, you're making it to the end next time, my friend.
If you ain't first, you're last, which is exactly how I
play it. You ain't cheating, you ain't trying. With that being said, thank you for stopping by the Death, Taxes, and Bananas podcast, where the tea flows like wine and my guests instinctively flock like the salmon of Capistrano. We are Dream Boys, and we love you.